Hey, welcome to the Friday Hot Toddy. It's tea and whiskey. So you're either watching this right now on YouTube, on my women's group, Whiskey University, or you're actually watching this on my private Facebook page. I'm posting it to all three platforms at the same time, and I'm still working out the tech, but I think this is going to work the best way. So each week, the Friday Hot Toddy, I bring up a topic, which is my theme for the week in my women's group, to either discuss or to inflect or reflect on your own time. I recommend journaling and just asking yourself some questions and doing some of that inner work. And then if you have anything that you'd like to discuss with myself or anybody in the comments, by all means, we're all ears and we're all in this together, right? So this week, it's May 12th of 2023. And the topic of discussion is your values. And the question to ask right off the bat is, are you doing what it is that you want to do that goes along with your values? Or are you doing what others think you should do? And to round that up into one question is, what are your values? Not what are your parents' values? What is your boss's values? What is your church's values? Those are all very important depending on what communities you're in. But deep down in the core of who you are, what are your values? What are the things that really make you tick and the things that you really hold near and dear to your heart as your authentic self, right? So, and one of the ways to really see and check with yourself to see if what your values are actually the values that you're living is ask yourself, where am I spending my time and where am I spending my money? Those are two really big things. Are you doing things that are feeding your soul? Are you doing things that are feeding your purpose and the things that you really want to do? Are you doing all those other things to distract us from who we are and what our purpose is? So if you're spending a whole bunch of money on a whole bunch of shopping, but you really want to be out in nature, but you're trapped or stuck in whatever it is or that routine you're in, start to think about that and start to analyze those things that you can change or pull back from to get to the root and the core of what it is that's going to get you back on track. Um, are those things that you're spending time and money on, are they on track or are they in alignment with what your dreams are? And if you're not sure what your dreams are, back up and start there. A good tip that I give people is if you're not sure really what it is that lights you up, think about what you were doing when you were a kid. Who did you want to be? What did you want to do? Because from the people I've spoken to and people I've worked with, at least 90% of the time, whatever that thing was when you were a kid is still the thing that's going to light you up today. You just got to shift gears and get back to what it was because all these other things get in the way, right? And even if you're in the stage of your life now where you're raising babies and you have all these other distractions, not that your child is a distraction, you know what I mean, all these other responsibilities and obligations, there are little things that you can do that still work you towards that dream and towards that goal. There's a YouTube channel that you can follow maybe that's talking about the things that you want to do or pursue. Educate yourself more about the things that you want to do or pursue in the future. Just because you can't actually do them right now doesn't mean you can't build towards it. That 1% that you put in or 1% that you change is going to take you a whole different course and get you somewhere else later, right? So start building that foundation and base it on those values and those things that are really important to you. Um, uh, let's see. If you take away, and this is one of the things about your values, if you take away all those jobs and all those things and all those obligations that are put onto you by someone else or something else, what is left? Is what you're left with, is that what is super true to you? Or is it something that you've just kind of fallen into by default because of situations or relationships you're in or jobs that you work, right? There are a lot of things that we latch onto and we fall into these habits of routine and we kind of lose ourselves in those. So start paying attention to what it is that you value, eh, what you value, and that it coincides with your value system and things like that. And I'll leave you on this one note because I'm going to tell you for myself personally, like one of my values was security, my towards values, and one of my away values was security. And they conflicted with each other in the sense that I was happy to be provided for through the years, you know, like a relationship or whatever the case may be, and finances and stuff like that. But then I realized over time that because I was okay to give up things over here because I valued that security of being taken care of, I was losing myself in other things because of the obligation I felt to that provision, if that makes sense. And I had to learn on my journey that I know who I am now, and I am authentic to myself, and I am secure in myself. So because the more I became secure in myself, the less security I needed to feel from someone else. Do you see what I'm saying? So that attraction and those things that made me hold on to things that weren't necessarily for my good because of what I thought my values were have changed. But on the outside, that word and that value security, it's still the same word. It just has a whole different meaning behind it now because I found what that value meant to me, what it is truly to me, and who I am. So please, by all means, leave a comment below whichever video you're watching. I'm very responsive and I will get back to you as soon as possible if you want to chat or if you have any other questions. And I love y'all and keep on rocking.